Beth Urich, rhymes with Zurich, and I lived there for many, many years. Both my children, Sarah and Thomas, were born and educated in Switzerland. When it came time for them to go to university, their Swiss father said, "Go to the United States." Their American mother, that's me, said, "No, stay in Switzerland where university is free." They listened to Dad. But the interview process for both Sarah and Thomas was complex, coming from the Swiss culture as they did. I toured with Sarah around several campuses in New England, and at an interview at Mount Holyoke, after the interview, I said to her, "How did it go, Sarah?" "Fine." "What did they ask you?" "Well, they see that I'm from Switzerland, so they said, 'How many languages do you speak?'" "What did you tell them?" "3, English, French, German." "But Sarah, English is your mother tongue. You spoke Swiss German with your playmates and kindergartners. Then, already in the first grade, you were reading and speaking High German. At the gymnasium, you took French, which was required, and 2 electives, Italian and Russian, both of which you adored. So actually, at the age of 18, Sarah, you spoke 6 languages." "I know." "Well, honey, why didn't you mention that?" "Well, I didn't want them to think I was boasting." That wouldn't have been boasting. But you see, that's the way my daughter was thinking, because she wasn't used to this American, tell it the way it is, tell it the way you want to be. And for those of you international students coming from Europe or Asia or Latin America, let me give you some pointers that make an interview, so positive that you will be able to choose to get in to the college of your choice. 3 suggestions. First, arrive early. Arrive 30 minutes early. Okay, I know that probably means you'll get there a quarter of an hour early, but you cannot underestimate how important it is, particularly for a college interview, to be ready, to be focused before you begin. Second, questions. Answer questions and use what I call is the A+1 approach. A stands for the answer, and +1 stands for information that you add to make things a little bit more interesting and get the conversation flowing. For example, imagine I'm the interviewer. "Do you know what you'd like to study?" "I want to study molecular biology." Now that's the answer, and that's really the answer to the question. But what if you add a bit more? "I want to study molecular biology. You see, I was raised on a bull stud farm in Wisconsin, and already at the age of 6, I looked into microscopes and I could see lots of squiggly wiggly things. I didn't know what they were, but it awakened my interest in science, and yes, I want to be a molecular biologist." That, by the way, was my husband's answer many years ago. In addition, always have a couple of questions of your own to ask. For example, you may need to say, "Do you have a work-study program? Because I know I'm not going to be able to finish in 4 years. I don't have the financial background, but if you have a work-study program, that would be great." Or what my son Thomas asked. He was interviewing at UCLA. "I know sports is pretty competitive out here. Do you think I'll be able to play volleyball?" Well, Thomas had no idea how competitive sports is throughout the United States. He did not play volleyball, but he did graduate from UCLA. So, be on time. Be prepared with questions to answer, A+1, and to ask. And at the end of the interview, or I should therefore say after the interview, write a thank you note. I know this sounds really old-fashioned, but I can tell you it will make a huge difference for the majority of places that you're interviewing. It means you have to get notepaper, you have to get the person's name and postal address, you have to actually write handwriting and send it off. I spoke a couple of weeks ago in Tucson as a fundraiser for Ann Kirkpatrick, who is running for senator in the state of Arizona against John McCain. I was surprised and delighted 2 weeks later to receive a thank you from Ann. That's her stationery. And, well, I'm not going to read you the whole, but look how she started. Beth, you are amazing. It was a wonderful thank you note, and I urge you to write thank you notes. Ask the people, the teachers in the room, and see what they say, because you are amazing, and you need to be in a school that encourages your special, unique skills. If you ace the interview, you have a much better chance of getting into the college of your choice.